Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. This is Scott from Half Bath Brewing. Out here in the tap room. Cheers. This is a chocolate porter, chocoholic porter. It's a little undercarbed. Have to check the pressure here in a little bit. So I've been setting up the new keg fridge. I had a 10-gallon chocolate porter that was in the fermenter here. I kegged it into 2 different 5-gallon kegs. I put cherry concentrate into one of the kegs. That's this here, and then this is the chocolate porter. I have some video of my kegging, I think. I'll have that up this week. I did a pressure transfer from my Chronicle to the 5-gallon kegs. I did an open vessel pressurized transfer, so I just hooked it up to the racking port here, put a ball lock to the outline on the keg to the liquid line, and then hooked up a different 3-inch top on the fermenter, and then used CO2 to push it out at about half a psi. I used this new dealie here that I made. So for cleaning, so basically this went down here on the dump valve, and then it's to a offset T, and then this went up to the racking valve, and then there was another connector which I think is put up, but it goes from here to the pump, and worked fantastic for cleaning. Before that I was using a sump pump, and the sump pump just was terrible because I had to have a bucket, and then had a sump pump in the bucket. I would drain it into the bucket, so it would pump some in, some of the cleaner in, PBW, whatever, and then drain out into the bucket, because it was slower draining than it was spraying. So with that contraption, I just put 2 gallons of cleaner in the fermenter here, and then I have the mini spray ball, and so it sucks the water out to relieve the pressure, blows it in the top through the mini spray ball. The only thing is that I did have to crack the sample port here in order to, because it's hot water, there would be a little bit of pressure buildup. I didn't slow it down any, but I did just kind of crack that open and put a hose to a bucket, so every once in a while a little bit of water would come out cleaner. Anyway, all that worked fantastic. The new chiller worked fantastic. The beer came out good, even though I had a terrible brew day. It's a little cloudy. I didn't have any Whirlflock or Irish moss, so hopefully I ordered a big bag of Whirlflock, so hopefully that problem will be solved from now on. I hadn't brewed in a year and a half, and so my Irish moss, it just looked crusty and old, and it was in a big clump. I didn't want to break that up and throw it in the beer. So I figure a little bit of cloudy beer, it'd be all right. Now, the chocolate porter is the first one that I kegged, and so it had a little bit of yeast, I think, yeast and chocolate sediment that went into the keg, and I think that's why it's cloudy. The chocolate cherry porter is not as cloudy, and so we'll see though on the next brew how it does. I'm pretty sure the World Flock will take care of it. Cold crashing should take care of it. I didn't dump any trub like I normally do, so we'll see how that goes on the next brew day. I'll make sure to dump, and we'll just run through all that like normal and get some clear beer. So the plan is to brew this weekend. It'll be the first brew on the new upgraded equipment. Kind of looking forward to that. With my luck, I'll probably have water everywhere though. That seems to be just the way it goes. The first time I use a system, I end up water everywhere. Beer everywhere, water everywhere. It's just a mess. So hopefully we'll take care of that this time. This week I need to get this on some casters of some kind. Got these big heavy duty casters over here on the ground. I think I'm just going to build a stand to put it on, because the brewery's that way. It's around the corner there. I moved the chiller and the fermenter outside of the brewery just to make room. The chiller was just too big once I got it in there. I have a stack full of totes over there that they're broken up into brew day and yeast starters and cleaning and racking and wine and meads, and it's to help keep my stuff organized, and there's no way they would have fit in the brewery with that chiller in there. So the other thing is that it raised the ambient temperature of the room, the brewery, by, I don't know, 10-15 degrees easy, which was making it do more work. This way the chiller would be sitting outside the brewery. The duty cycle, it's very low now. It just kicks on every so often. I guess it's at 23.9 degrees right now and cold. Plan on brewing this weekend. I haven't decided what. I kind of want to do a 10-gallon batch to test out the brewery. The total capacity is 20 gallons, but theoretically I could do 20 gallons, but realistically I could do 15 gallons or half barrel. I have a 20-gallon brew kettle, 15-gallon hot liquor tank, and another 20-gallon mash tun. So I'm thinking I typically do 10-gallon batches, just because I got the conical. What I don't want to do is fill up this new keg fridge with 10 gallons at a time. So I have 3 more faucets. These are Perlick stainless steel 650s with the flow control valve on them. I got to move those 3 over there in the other keg fridge that I'll be closing down. So I have room for 7 taps, and I think 20 kegs can fit in this thing. So I thought worst case I would have 7 taps on, and then 7 more kegs sitting behind those of the same beers, and I really don't want to get into that. So what I'm thinking is I'll end up with, say, 2 house beers that have 5 gallons with 5 gallons stacked behind them, so that I always have it available. So probably a stout. I usually like a stout and a IPA or a pale ale and then that will leave me 5 taps to experiment with in, let's say, 5-gallon batches. That's going to be the plan for the pipeline. So have 2 beers always on. When they get low, just rebrew them. Then the other 5, I'll just do 5-gallon batches. And I only have 9 kegs, so that's like the perfect number, really. So, with that being said, I'm not sure if I want to brew maybe like a 2-hearted clone to keep on tap and 10 gallons, or I thought about brewing up Dropkick Nate because I've got all the ingredients for it and I've never tried it. I thought it would be a good, everybody seems to like it, so maybe that would be a good beer to keep on tap, 10 gallons. So we'll see what the weekend holds. It's supposed to be cool and rainy, thankfully, because it's been in the 90s, 95, 96 every day. So it'll be good to get a nice rainy brew day in this weekend, and we'll see what happens. I'll probably record the brew day. It'll be my first one on the new system, so I'll expect some problems. I'm thinking about trying to do grain to glass videos, so that probably I'll record it, and then I'll stick that footage away until I keg it, and then I'll taste it. I'm not the best at beer tasting, so I can't really give a whole lot of good notes. It's pretty much smells like beer, tastes like beer. I like it. Got my growlers put up on the shelf on my beer glasses, so the kind of the tap room's starting to come together. I'm hoping to put a chalkboard up here to put my tap list on. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. I'll see you next time.